Hi, this is Books with Shasha. I read a total of 68 books in 2024, and here are my top 10 notable reads. So I'm going to first start with the ones that I have on my e-reader. So basically, my first one that I want to mention is Their Vicious Games by Joelle Wellington. Man, this book changed my life. This is a YA thriller. It's basically about a young girl who her position at Yale is at stake, and she participates in these crazy vicious games with other young girls to get an ultimate prize. This gets insane. Killings happen. This is serious. Man, I loved it. 5 stars. After that, I would say my next notable read is The 7-Year Slip. Oh my gosh, I loved this. I thought I was not a romance girl until I read this in another romance book I'm going to bring up, and this turned me into one. This is a magical realism book. The setting is in New York. It's about a young woman who inherits an apartment that can time travel about 7 years in the past, and she kind of has a thing for a man that was in that apartment 7 years ago. So I thought it was super cute, super sweet. I was eating it up. My gosh. The next one after that was 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. Oh my gosh, you guys, I think this might be my favorite book of 2024. Honestly, I ate this all the way up. Basically, this is about two writers. They were both successful in their own right. They had 7 days together in June, and they were like magnetic. They had this crazy connection. Something happens that tears them apart for 15 years, and this book pretty much explores their reconnection after that time. Man, I will probably be rereading that at some point. The last one I want to mention here is the 1619 Project. This book it was quite long, but this book is basically just an imagining, this book is a historical look at African Americans from the moment they first touched down in America, and it brings it all the way to current day. So definitely, man, I learned so much about American history reading this. It was amazing. So that got 5 stars out of me. Now on to the books that I have physically. I have to start with Scythe by Neal Shusterman and also Everlost by Neal Shusterman. So Everlost is a reread. This is my favorite book of all time. Neal Shusterman is actually my favorite author of all time. So pretty much these are both science fiction books. This one is about two young teenagers who actually die in a car accident together, and they're in this purgatory space called Everlost, where there are no adults. They're basically other souls that are either children or teenagers and that passed away at that time, and they explore this space of purgatory together. So I reread Everlost in 2024. I reread that book every couple years. It's my favorite book ever. The next book is Scythe, Arc of the Scythe series. I actually finished this in 2024, and man, this is amazing. This is basically a book about, it's a dystopian book about like a world where we have conquered death and sickness, and now we have an overpopulation problem. So there are these things called scythes. They are people who are mandated with population control, meaning they are getting rid of people. And this explores two young teenagers who are training to become scythes in this science fiction dystopian world. After that, it is The Black Girl Dies. The Black Girl Survives in this one. This is an anthology, a series of short horror stories. Reading this, it was just so magnetic and amazing. I read it around Halloween time in 2024. It was just amazing. Like, I felt like reading this was almost like watching a season of Black Mirror, where like each short story like had its own thing to it, and I was just so excited about it. Like, I've got a couple of 5 stars out of this one. Overall, I think I gave it 4.5 stars. The next one is A Love Song for Ricky Wilds. Another Tia Williams book makes the roster for me, and this book is a magical realism book. It's about two people who fall in love from 2 different time zones. I don't want to give time zones, some are 2 different time periods. I don't want to give too much away, but pretty much this one I fell in love with the characters. I just like the way Tia Williams writes. It was a phenomenal romance book. I think I gave it like 4.75 stars. Almost 5 stars, not quite. The next one, I know everyone's been raving about Just for the Summer, and I did read Just for the Summer last year, but honestly, I think Part of Your World, I really liked this one so much better. This is about two people who pretty much fall for each other, who are from two completely different worlds. One is like a world-renowned doctor from like a prestigious family. The other is like your everyday small town man, Tim, and these two, and there's even an age gap between them too, and it just kind of follows their love story. I don't know, I was eating this up. I loved it. I'll probably reread this at some point. Maybe not this year, maybe next year, who knows. The next one is Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. Okay, you guys, this YA fantasy, I mean, like, this was just so amazing. This is about a young girl. Her name is Bree. She is on the campus of UNC. She's 17. She's in an early college program. She discovers a secret society. She also just discovers some powers of her own from ancestral magic. Like, there's so much happening here when she discovers the secret society. There's demons that need to be slayed. There's the world that needs to be saved. I mean, there's just so much going on. King Arthur, if you're familiar with King Arthur and Merlin and all that, that's heavy in this book, so you might like that. I don't want to give too much away, but that was amazing. I was like, whoa. The last one is another reread. This is Children of Blood and Bone. I had read this a number of years ago when it came back, and then I reread this again in 2024, and this is still a 5-star book. Wow. This is I believe this is in the YA category. It's about a girl in the front. Her name is Zelly. She comes from a place where there was magic, and people with dark skin and white hair had the power to wield magic, but it was snatched away. So she is on a journey to bring magic back. And that's what this is all about. I mean, so much to say. Thank you all so much for watching. That was my top 10 reads of 2024. There's a couple of other notable mentions. Like, I started Harry Potter for the first time this year, and in 2024. And also My Sister, the Serial Killer are notable mentions. But I have already mentioned my top 10. Thank you all so much for watching.